you get to catch much of the West Virginia-Kansas State game last night?
Yeah, I watched pretty much all of it.
What do you see from them that's going to challenge you guys?
First of all, they're huge everywhere. We've had some rebounding issues, and it's what they do best. They rebound on the offensive end better than anybody we've played so far this year. And it's an area of concern going into the game because they have a load of guys who can get in there and help them. Their guards are good rebounders, so that's probably the biggest area of concern. So foul trouble is also an area because one kind of leads to the others we saw down in Norman last week.
What has the energy been like with this team since finally getting that first big goal?
We were off yesterday. Had a couple guys come by and watch film, but I think they're just excited for the next opportunity. Again, we gotta have a short memory whether you win or lose in this league, and so now that we've won, we can't think that game's going to help us on Saturday. It'll be a game played much differently. I would imagine much more physical than the last game was, and so we just got to focus on what are the things we have to do for that 40 minutes of that game on Saturday afternoon to give ourselves a chance to win.
Tom has mentioned how Mo has been asking a lot of questions in practice and everything. What's it like to have a guy like that who's willing to learn and grow all the time?
Well, it's important. I mean, I think sometimes young kids don't ask questions because they don't know what to ask. They don't even know enough to have a question come in their mind. But then comes the admittance that I don't know and need some help. And that's a sign of maturity for him. He said he's been really focused on that and locked in on what he can do to help our team for the last 3 weeks. And it's showed up on the court, not necessarily in terms of being great numbers, but his energy, his hustle, his defensive rebound has been really, really infectious for us.
He mentioned how he started as more of an offensive guy, and then he's realized things like defense and rebounds he does need to pick up. How important is it to have that mindset, especially against a team that you mentioned rebounding to be a battle?
Yeah, I mean, we need him. We need all those guys. We need everybody to have their best rebounding night if we're going to give ourselves a chance. Obviously, you still have to make shots. They're a really good defensive team, like they've always been. But rebounding will be the number one priority for us, and he brings size. He's got a good amount of athleticism. He's not the best athlete we have, but he can get in there, bang a little bit. And so we expect him to be able to get in there and help in that regard. But it can't just be him. We have to have Cam continue. We have to have Lindy and Ice. We have to have Weathers get in there and scrap out rebounds for us also.
What do you think is the key to having success in that arena?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I figured that out when we go there. But you certainly, anytime you go on the road, you have to have a confidence. You have to go in knowing that you prepare. And the way you do that is practice the right way, understand what the game plan is, but understanding also that you can't be distracted when they make a run. They will. It's part of the game. They'll make a run. It'll be 6-0 or 8-2 or whatever it is. The crowd will get into it. And then you got to have some composure. When on the road is truly about when the other team makes a run, how do you respond? We haven't done a great job of that this year so far. So it'll be another opportunity for us to see if we've grown in that area.
When you have a Saturday, Monday turnaround like this, like you have a few times on this Big 12 schedule, how do you handle that Sunday? Do you do something different to kind of try to save their bodies?
It's hard. All last year I was trying to figure out how to get a routine throughout this stuff. And I think this year I've really just thrown all that out the window. I'll try to win the game on Saturday. And when I wake up Sunday, I'll see how I think my team feels, and we'll approach practice depending on how that is at that moment. But I'm certainly not thinking about Sunday today. I'm thinking about this afternoon. We'll come back and try to figure out how to make some shots tomorrow as we prepare, and then just try to survive 40 minutes on the road in a hostile environment on Saturday afternoon.
What kind of benefit has that shot tracker system done for you guys so far?
It's been good. It's hard to really quantify until probably the end of the season, but we've taken some measurements of it, after 10 games, after 15 games, to see where some trends are, and maybe where guys are shooting their best from, which groups together, giving us the best opportunity to score. And obviously we're searching offensively still to continue to evolve. So it's just it's a data point, It's another measuring tool. It's something that the guys can use on their own time to kind of see where they're struggling at or where they're doing well, and try to build on it that way.
What kind of things have you learned?
Well, I've learned that there's a lot of things you can make technological in this world that I've never thought of. I never thought you could hang sensors in the building and tell me what I was good at on the basketball court. I just thought you come in there, you find somebody to play one-on-one, or you bring a group of guys out here and play 5-on-5, and you learn how to play that way. But there's a lot more to it from a technological standpoint. What I've seen is, obviously, I think we have a lot of guys who can make shots. It hasn't showed up all the time, but the numbers tell me that you can trust over the course of the season that your shooting percentages will be pretty good.
Are there other technological advancements you'd like to see that would make your job easier?
I don't think that way. I don't really have a technological mind, to be honest. I'm really kind of boring. I watch a lot of tape and read some books. None of them have to do with any technology most of the time. And I got a great staff. Got a lot of guys who kind of bring me tips. Dre, Dembo, our video guys, the first ones who introduced the shot tracker idea to me. And then I called around to some other coaches and asked about it. There are other coaches in our league who use it. Asked if they thought it was beneficial, and they did. And so we gave it a shot.
How important is it to be able to balance that old school film with that new technology?
Well, I think you got to use all the resources at your disposal, when you're at this place and you can, and just try to give you guys the best opportunities to continue to grow. For us, again, it's a long-term deal. We're in year 2 of this build and trying to get it back to where we have a consistent product that people can really enjoy and take pride in. So that's just a part of it. We want to do everything we can to provide access to our guys to continue to get better. And if they get better individually, our team gets better and we play better. And so it's really simple to me, but sometimes I think we can overcomplicate it.
Is there anything to update with Contravious?
No, he's available. This is probably a game that, quite honestly, he'll have more opportunities to see minutes. Being that it's going to be a game there's a lot of size out there, and his big body can help. There's always a lot of fouls in West Virginia games, and so we've had a conversation that he needs to be ready, and if his number's called, he needs to be ready to go in there and first and foremost be a force in the presence and the paint, help us rebound.
You seem like a guy who's pretty in tune with a bunch of different statistics. What are kind of some of your most telling statistics? What do you like to call them?
Free throws are always big. Kind of tells you how the game's played. We keep track of deflections which don't show up on a stat sheet. Loose balls, or something else that don't show up on a stat sheet. We don't pay as much attention to field goal percentage defense because we try to pressure, and so that leads to us maybe giving up some shots close to the basket. Our 3-point defense, however, is something that we try to keep in mind, and it's something we make an emphasis. And then rebound is always key. Rebound is always a pretty telling number on any game.
Have you paid much attention to the new net rating so far?
Nope, I haven't looked at it once. It's the other thing I've tried to kind of get away from is the long. It's kind of going back to his deal, like the longer term things. Hey, my team's not prepared for that, right? They don't even understand any of it, so I'd be wasting a lot of time talking about those things. For me, to help them, we got to be good today. And really trying to just stay focused on that. And it's hard because in my mind, there is a bigger picture. There are other things that, but none of them happen if we don't take care of business each and every day moving forward. So no, I haven't looked at it at all.
Is that, you mentioned really kind of honing in on kind of the micro, is that something you learned after year 1, or is that something that's special about this group because they're so young?
I think it's more unique about this group. I talked a lot about the NCAA tournament with last year's team. And I thought we've done some things to put ourselves in that position. And I don't necessarily think that was the wrong approach with a more experienced team, a team of guys. Some of them had played in the NCAA tournament, so there was some familiarity and bubbles and all that. These guys have no idea what any of that means. So really just trying to keep them focused on the things that we truly can control. How we practice, how we prepare, and then ultimately how we play. And if you take care of those things, ultimately the numbers and the rhetoric comes around.
Anything strange for your older guys that isn't part of the conversation?
I don't know. Not something I've really talked about. I've really tried to help them help me with the younger guys. Just, hey, we need to be great today. I usually send those guys a text message about the things that we're going to emphasize in practice. And, hey, we really got to be good on the glass the next 2 days. The last couple of days we've talked about ball screens and other teams shooting free throws. And they've done a great job, Cam Thomas and Lindy, of taking my message and then spreading it throughout the team and really coming in with the right type of focus.
talked about Maurice earlier. Can you kind of see Cam rubbing off on him a little bit?
Yeah. Mo's a very smart kid. He's really, really intelligent. He's stubborn a little bit, and I think early on he allowed his stubbornness to get in the way of his progress. We talked about progress over pride. He had a little bit too much pride to allow himself to grow early, and he wanted to prove that he could shoot his way into the lineup. Well, you better make shots at a pretty high rate to do that, because the other end, where you're hurting your team, really can turn your teammates off, especially if then you're not making your shots. But I've seen him really kind of just change his approach entirely. Those 2 balls he chased down the other day, there's no chance he does that a month ago. No chance. And you're starting to buy in more to, what it takes for him to get on the court. So maybe he's selfishly motivated in that area, but he's also seeing that it affects his team. He saw that it affected our crowd. And continuing to get that buy-in on him leads to other guys starting to understand that they can do the same thing and earn opportunities.